$1 billion in production. That was the request. I got a text message. Hey, D.O., you should do a show about how you and your partners built out a $1 billion division. Sure, I can do that, but I can also do one better. I can teach you how others have built out over $1 billion in production. And what you'll learn, there's some similarities, but a couple differences. It's not for everybody. It's not for the faint of heart. However, if you're running production at any scale for any type of industry, although this will be very mortgage specific, here's going to be a how-to guide and a how others have done guide to scaling to doing over $1 billion in production. Check this out. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children 18 plus, you are tuned in to the Loan Officer Podcast with me, Dustin Owen. And with me from the TLOP team, I got my right-hand man. He's Marketing Mike, a.k.a. Mikey, Rocky, Vinny. And our producer extraordinaire, we call her Special K. You can call her Karina Mojica. What's going on, y'all?
Hey, guys.
Not much. Hanging out.
Yeah, we're hanging out.
It's me and the duck today.
It is you and the duck. I love how you pet the duck. But you know what I love more?
Yeah.
This stupid hat you have me wearing and that awesome T-shirt that you have on.
Go.
I don't know if you can even see it if you're on YouTube right now, but Mike is rocking his T-Lop Unite Caribbean Takeover. It's time. We've been teasing this thing. We've been talking about it. I know last episode we went all in promoting it.
Yes.
But this is going to be probably the coolest thing we do this year.
Yeah.
Like, I'm getting more and more excited about it. At one point, I was like, yeah, we'll do the Caribbean next year. Maybe the following year, we'll do Nashville. The following year, maybe we'll do San Antonio takeover, then a Vegas takeover. Right now, I'm like, F it. I'm getting so excited about this event. Mm-hmm. We may just have to take over the Caribbean every year. But, like, I mean.
Let's do Puerto Rico next year, please.
Oh, that'd be cool. That's still Caribbean.
It is Caribbean.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'd have to probably take the boat out of Miami.
Right.
So this year we're taking the boat out of Port Canaveral.
Yep.
Which is essentially Orlando, Florida.
Yes.
Right? So for all the people who aren't driving in, if you have to fly in, you'll fly into Orlando. You'll probably fly in Sunday. You'll get on the boat on Monday. You'll be home Friday by dinner time.
We'll get on the ship.
The ship.
This is utopia of the seas.
Yes. And I'll tell you what. So they have a casino on this ship. And I was just at a casino a couple nights ago with my mom.
How'd it go?
How'd it go? My mom and I had a great time. Thanks for asking. Yeah, we had an amazing time.
In the red.
So look, my mom and I share a couple things. We're probably the worst people to talk to tell a story because we ramble. So that can become frustrating and annoying. However, we also both love to gamble.
Yeah.
And we both love to fish. So probably 5 years ago, I'm a big, and y'all know this about me, but I'm a big experience person. Okay, I don't want you to buy me a gift. I want you to invite me to something you're doing.
Noted.
Right? And I don't want to buy you a gift. I want to pay for you to come do something really cool.
Yeah.
That's why, like, when my son turned 18, we went skydiving, and that was like a big experience.
That's wild.
And,
wow.
You know, every other year I go to Wyoming so we can go hiking and horseback riding and fly fishing. It's all about just gaining experiences. So for my mom, every year for Christmas, I don't buy her a gift. We go to the Hard Rock in Tampa. It's about an hour and a half drive away from us, where we get a hotel room, we go to a nice dinner, and we gamble. The next morning, we wake up, we drive to St. Pete, which is like a 45-minute drive, and I charter an inshore fishing trip.
That's awesome.
So it's super fun. We got redfish and tarpon and snook and trout.
Wow.
So we just did it.
Yeah.
But we just gambled. How'd it go? No, man, I'm really good at having fun at gambling. I'm not really good at making money.
Nice.
We started off, my mom won $200 playing slots.
There we go.
When I was checking into the room.
Yeah.
Like,
Wow.
she went and found a slot machine.
So you weren't there. It
No,
was
she
only her.
She goes, take my suitcase. I'm going to go over to the slot real quick.
Yeah.
I'm standing in line, like, checking in. My mom's, like, at the slot machine. She turned 100 into 350.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, this is a good start.
She had some house money.
We then went to dinner, had an awesome dinner. Then afterwards, we're like, oh, let's go play craps. Cool. Like, my mom won't play those games unless I'm there.
Right.
But she loves to play craps if I'm there. We went through 7 rollers, including my mom and I. So we were trash too.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all, we literally would roll 3 times before we kept crapping out. Couldn't make any money.
Man.
So I was like, this sucks. Went to roulette. Played roulette for probably an hour. I never got up. My mom went up, but then she went down. Then she'd go up. Then she finally lost it all.
Yeah.
But whatever. We played for an hour, all well and good. I then went to play 3-card poker. She went to slots. Both ran out of money, went to bed by 10 o'clock. However, it was really cool. My mom is a huge Atlanta Braves fan, as am I, but my mom's like a bigger one. And she's never done sports betting. She's like, at dinner, she goes, I would like to make a bet on the Braves tonight. I was like, all right,
That's
cool.
great.
So we finished dinner, went to the sports book, and I talked her into a parlay.
Yeah.
And it was like Atlanta Braves -1.5. The over-under was like 7.5. So I said, Mom, here's what this means. The total runs scored have to be 8 or more, and the Braves have to win by 2 or more. She was like, cool. I said, but if you bet 20, you'll win 75. She's like, in. Well, the trip started with my mom, like winning the $250, and it ended with my mom winning 75 because it was like the 6th inning. The Braves were already up 9-0. So they already covered the over, and there's a good chance they're going to win by at least 2.
Yeah.
And they did. But no, everything else was like a shit sandwich in the middle.
Yeah, exactly.
It was like having 2 awesome pieces of bread, and then inside was nothing but horse, cow, and dog manure. And that's what you had to eat.
Dog manure.
The bread tasted amazing, but everything else in the middle.
Right.
But it gets me excited about the T-Lop Unite event because there's going to be a cruise ship.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to have a private island with a VIP beach bash.
Yes.
Right? We're gonna have sail away cocktail hours, and we're going to have like Bon Voyage bashes.
Breakout events.
And masterminding. Cool as shit. Go to our website if you want more. It's tloponline.com. But let's get into building out $1 billion division.
Let's do it.
Yeah, like we're going to get into it. You're going to rock the T-Lop Unite shirt.
I am.
I'm rocking the captain's hat.
Yes.
And for full-blown marketing this event, that's why we're kind of selling out a little bit.
Yeah.
But I don't want to sell out on today's show.
Yep.
Because I was able to do something with 2 partners and a great leadership team, management team. Great management team, I want to say. Yeah. David, Mike, and I were the leaders.
Right.
Our management team was able to do something really effing special. And we talk about that. But, someone said, well, I want to hear your story. I want to hear it in the podcast format. And I think David, Mike, and I told this story like 5 years ago, early on in the days of T-Lop. But I also want to teach you all how others have done it, not necessarily my way. So that's what we're going to talk about.
Yeah.
And by the way, these lessons work if you sell life insurance. These lessons work if you're a realtor. I mean, if you're a real estate agent and you want to own a brokerage, and a brokerage has multiple offices, and you want to sell X amount of homes, you can do this. If you're a financial advisor at Northwestern Mutual, maybe you want to become like a partner, and partners bring on other FAs and other life insurance sales reps, and they can also build out like a team that is doing a lot of business together. This is going to be more mortgage specific because what I know is what I did.
Right.
But before we do, we're going to take a quick pause so we can listen to today's show sponsor. Check this out. Y'all, something big is happening at Lower Mortgage. And if you're paying attention to this industry, you've probably noticed. In just the last month alone, Lower has added some serious horsepower. We're talking top producers representing over $350 million in volume. These aren't rookies kicking tires. These are heavy hitters who've done their homework and made the move. That should tell you something. On top of that, Lower just acquired Movoto, a top 5 real estate portal with over 150 visitors just last year. Before that, they brought in Neat Labs, and now they're launching Lower OS, a next-gen mortgage platform that's cutting loan delivery times down to 10 days. This isn't a company standing still. Lower doubled their volume last year, and they're projecting another 40 to 50% growth this year. The best in the business are taking notice, and they're voting with their feet. Here's the reality. The companies that are going to win in this market are the ones investing in technology, building real infrastructure, and competing at scale. Lower is doing all of that. They're going head to head with the Rockets of the world, and they're built for originators, not against them. If you're a producer who wants to be a part of something that's actually going somewhere, not just surviving, but growing, this is the moment. Lower Mortgage, the momentum is real. All right, so we're back. If it's okay with you, I'm going to start with my story and my journey. Kind of like the, hey, Dio, how'd you guys do it?
Yeah.
And then along the way, I really want you and Karina to ask questions.
Oh, I'm going to.
Okay, perfect.
I'm good for a question.
Yeah, so I think it's important for people to know that timing plays such a part in everything we do. Mm-hmm. I mean, one of my favorite books is Outliers by Malcolm Gladwell. Mm-hmm. And in that book, Malcolm Gladwell will teach you that Steve Jobs, Bill Gates, Jeff Bezos all benefited from timing, right? Like, had they been born 10 years earlier, 10 years later, they probably wouldn't be household names. Because 10 years earlier, both Gates and Jobs would not have had access to the technology. 10 years later, they'd have been too late to the party.
Yep.
So I have to admit that timing has a lot to do with it. David Holbrook, Mike Smalley, and I got together in 2008 and joined Waterstone Mortgage. We were unknown commodities. Waterstone was an unknown commodity, and all of us were just trying to survive.
That's a terrible time to get started, right?
Best time to get started.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
The best time to get started
Right
now.
before the
best market
crash?
is now.
Talking about right after the crash.
Yeah, the crash started in 07. It ended in 08. Then we dealt with the aftermath 9, 10, 11.
Yeah.
But we on the mortgage side started feeling it in 2007, honestly. So we end up, it's August of 2008. We end up at Waterstone. Very entrepreneurial. It was back in the day, they called that a net branch. Okay. Very much like a franchise. And in the beginning, all we wanted to do was survive. So on our own, neither David, Mike, or I could afford our own rent. Neither David or I could afford an assistant. Neither David, Mike, or I could afford a processor. So coming together would be like three young attorneys coming together saying, hey, let's just create a law firm because we can share an legal assistant and a paralegal and office space.
Yeah.
And it was important back then in 2008 that you had office space. It wasn't this work from home virtual thing. So that's what we did. Now, we always had a bigger picture in mind, even if we couldn't like draw you a clear picture of it. But things that we did well was we created one unified process that the three of us followed as originators. And we had one processor who followed one unified support system. And our support system was very CRM database heavy. So it was like, hey, look, when you work here, here's how you structure your loans, submit loans to processing, attend pipeline meetings, etc. When you work here, this person is going to build, maintain, and market your database. And it's all going to be based on the best practices of David, Mike, and Dustin. What we were doing, and Mike, you can probably nail this one from your experience, but speaking to everyone else who can't, we were building structure. We were building something that was scalable, right? We were building SOPs. We were building checklists.
Who was drafting the SOPs? It wasn't you, right?
We weren't even building SOPs. Yes, it was me and Mike mostly.
Yeah, like who was documenting
But
them?
we didn't know they were called SOPs back then.
Yeah, got it.
To me, it was just
That's
hey,
awesome.
we have one way of doing things.
Yeah.
It's not fair to have a processor processing for three guys three different ways. It's not realistic to have one human supporting three salespeople doing three different things. It's like if Melanie's going to do something for Mike, she's doing the same thing for David, same thing for Dustin. Now, Melanie had to deal with all three personalities, but at least the scope of work was pretty consistent. It all was like common sense, for the most part. We had a couple coaches along the way, and I'm sure those coaches were leading us. Guys like Tom Ward back in the day were some coaches that were helping us out. But our dream in those early days, all we wanted was to have enough LOs come work for us in our office that they covered the overhead. That would mean any revenue that David, Mike, and I generated on our own loans was 100% going to come to us.
Yeah.
Right. So back then, let's say I was making 200 basis points on a loan, I would get 50%. The branch would keep 50%.
Yeah.
My goal was if I had enough LOs following in that system, then when I did a loan, I get to keep all 200 basis points. Cool. I'd make more money doing the same volume. But here's where my brain went. If Mike's going to come work for me and I'm going to take X basis points out of the gross revenue he's doing, I better damn well earn it. How am I going to earn it? Well, I earned it by supporting Mike. How did I support Mike? And that's where our culture came from. Well, Mike, I'm going to provide you a processor. This processor is going to do X, Y, and Z. When she does X, Y, and Z, you can focus more on selling. Cool. Hey, Mike, I have this loan officer assistant. She's going to do X, Y, and Z for you. When she does X, Y, and Z, builds, maintains, and markets your database on your behalf, you're going to be able to generate and convert more leads. At which point you're like, okay, Dio, you 100% earn making X on my loans. Now, I also offered you a place to work and business cards and marketing collateral and access to my copier. There was true tangible value. Well, here's what we did. We built that out for the three of us. Then we built it out for three LOs who joined us. The market was changing. People were leaving banks and they were going to the IMB world. I was an IMB. This is where timing has to play a factor. And then when they came to work here, we just went out of our way to support them. If I was going to do a lunch and learn for me, why not do a lunch and learn for the whole office?
Yeah.
If I was going to join a certain networking event, why not pay for the company membership And not only do I attend, but I invite my LOs to come. If I'm going to do a client appreciation event at a movie theater, why not rent out 3 movie theaters and invite every LO's database and past clients? And then all of a sudden, we just started doing things as a team, as a group, although we were 100% commissioned individuals. Well, once I was doing that in Orlando, Florida, why couldn't I do it in Fort Walton Beach? Why couldn't I do it in Jupiter? Why couldn't I do it in Fort Myers? Why couldn't I do it in Ocala, in Clearwater, in Lake Mary, in Tallahassee? And something that I did really well, that if someone wants to know, well, Dio, what'd you do? First, we built the systems. If you build it, they will come. We built the systems. We had the support. The next thing is we had to get the word out. We had to be known. I didn't cold call. Mike didn't cold call. No. But you know what I did? I joined my local MBA. I joined my state MBA. I got on the board. I was a chapter president. I was on the state board. I attended the conferences.
Networking and putting yourself out there.
I networked my ass off.
Yeah.
I still do.
Yeah.
Now, granted, I love it. I love networking.
Yeah.
But it's also like where I'm at my best. Mm-hmm. Connecting with people, learning their story, being inquisitive, learning their story, sharing, like doing all those things. Well, then as you network, you pick up on opportunities.
Yep.
Well, some people I network with may be a mortgage insurance rep, and that mortgage insurance rep knows these 2 people over at this bank or credit union that they're not happy. She sees me all the time. She sees how excited I am, and she says, "Oh, you should get to know these people." She introduces me, and I don't make it a secret that I'm looking to grow. Everyone knows I'm looking to grow. Everyone knows what I'm looking for. So then the third thing that I did really, really well, and I say I mean David, Mike, and I. And don't get me wrong, then eventually we brought Ben into the fold, right? And we always had Melanie. And then when Corey was on, Corey started doing his thing. Sue was doing her thing. Beth was doing her thing.
What are these things? Like Ben?
Well, they were branch managers.
Okay.
So I could bring you on, Mike, as a branch manager.
Yeah.
And I would say, hey, look, Mike, you're going to come work for us. You have full access to our playbook.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to manage your pipeline. I'm going to onboard your LOs. Mike and I are going to train and coach your LOs. You're going to buy into and follow our CRM when it comes to marketing. Like you're going to get everything.
Yep.
But what I need you to do is I need you to be the mayor of your market. I need you to go out and find LOs who want to be a part of it. And those LOs need to come want to work for you. Not for me, not for Mike, not for the company, but for you. And when the LOs have questions, they have to go to you. Yeah. Like I can't be answering your LOs questions about structuring a loan when you're in Jupiter, Florida, and I'm in Orlando, Florida.
100%.
So we had partnerships with these branch managers all throughout. They had access to the P&L. They got paid off the P&L. They also got paid on their personal production. We supported them. We supplied the roadmap, and we also supplied the structure. Like that's what they were getting.
Yep.
But what I started doing is I started creating talent. So this is where I'm going right now to mortgage companies. I mean, I'll straight up, I'll tell you, I'm talking to Barrett Financial about this. I'm talking to CMG about this. I'm talking to Lower, to Novus, like anyone who's willing to talk about. I'm trying to get in front of Guaranteed Rate right now about this. We built something from $40 million a year to $40 million a month to eventually $1 billion because better than the rest of the industry, we were able to bring people in from the street who had never done a mortgage and turn them into top producers.
Yep.
That's one of our secret weapons, that and our CRM. Okay, I've now done this for LOs outside of my company. In fact, I don't have a company anymore. My company's T-Lop. But back in the day, the company that I worked for and I represented, we brought in dozens. These people are now top producers. Like, go look up Aaron Duba's production. Go look up Cole Kazmarski's production. Go look up Kevin Murphy's production. Go look, I can go down the line.
Yeah.
Go look up the production of these people that when we met them, didn't even know what a loan was. Right? And now these are some of the people that are leaders in our industry, that are top producers in our industry. And if you're a company owner or you're an operator or a divisional, I would love to talk to you about how I can bring this program to you. It's crazy, the ROI. It's crazy, the economics that I can do. If you want to put them in front of me and you want to give me 6 months, I will create you your next top producers. Reach out to me, do@tloponline.com.
But what's impressive too about it is that it's like timeless. Like from the curriculum that I now have come to know, it's timeless. It's not like in the age of AI right now. You know, you got to be tech savvy and you need to. It's some pretty grassroots stuff.
Blocking and tackling.
Yeah, blocking and tackling. Like, and it just works.
It works, but it's accountability. It's reading assignments. It's homework assignments. It's a set curriculum.
Yeah.
It's everything you need to do in order to generate 30 leads a month, close 4 to 5 loans a month before you start trying to get inundated with all the other tech stack, team building. This is just...
And honestly, that just supports the curriculum. Like 80% that's all it does is support it.
80% of our industry doesn't even do 30 loans a year.
Right.
Give those people to me.
Yep.
Well, hold on. Only if they're not tired. I need a full gas tank.
Mm-hmm.
I need full-time and professional.
Yes.
I don't care if they've been licensed 6 months or 16 years.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I need. But I guarantee you I will crush it for you. And that's what excites me about the future. But that's what I did for 15 years. And it wasn't just an please, if I say I mean we. Because Ben was involved and Melanie was involved and Corey and Sue. And like these people were involved. Even Eric Putt was involved. Like there's people who are very involved in this. But
yeah, it takes a village.
We created talent.
Yeah.
Yeah, lots of human capital. But I can teach you exactly how to do it. I had a system that we perfected over 10 years before I started teaching it to the outside world 3 years ago. And then we did that. And then it's just rinse and repeat. Once you do that, now it's super easy to go out because we didn't get to $1 billion until we landed 2 really big branches. Right. Shout out to Smitty. Shout out to Dwayne and the rest of Wolf especially. Like we got 2 really big branches that joined us towards the end of our run, and these people are coming from a place where they weren't supported when it comes to purchase business. And they were very heavy in the consumer direct world. And when the market shifted, like they were only attracted to us. I can tell you this, not because of our rates, right? The place I worked, rates sucked, right? They ended up leaving because the rates sucked. Like,
yeah.
Right. But, we all made a lot of money with those crappy rates. I'm not going to lie. Like we made a lot of money and people are still at that company making a lot of money with those rates.
Right.
So it's not about
full
the rate.
disclosure.
Yeah. Full disclosure. It's not about the rate.
TLOP Unite is not your typical mortgage event. This is the first ever TLOP cruise experience built exclusively for originators. And for 4 days, it's not about the speakers. It's about you. We're talking breakout strategy sessions, real conversations, curated events, and uninterrupted access to a community that helps you grow. If you're serious about taking your career to the next level, this is where you need to be. Space is limited and the price is right. So click the link now and learn more.
But they came over because they didn't have the systems. They didn't have the culture. They didn't have the marketing. It was plug and play. But we onboarded a $180 million branch and a $120 million branch because their company didn't know how to support them in a realtor, past client, referred, purchase focused world. And that was the one thing that we did really well, right? Was just that. And that's what put us over the edge. So that was, and shout out to Zach for texting me. Zach lives in Colorado Springs. He's a huge VA lender. When I met Zach, he's one of the first graduates of that Launch program.
Oh, wow.
It wasn't even called Launch back then.
Yeah.
I literally took Zach and 5 other military veterans who were transitioning out of the military into mortgage, and I coached them pro bono.
That's awesome.
For 6 months. So it was that group that I kind of used as my guinea pig to figure out how can I take what I did for myself and start doing outside for others.
Yeah.
Well, Zach's that guy that, today you look up his production, $30 million a year. He's trying to do $60 million a year, and I no doubt in my mind he'll do it. It was Zach that reached out to me and said, "Hey, D.O., I'd love to hop on a call with you to hear your story, but how about you just make a podcast out of it?"
I love it.
So that for the most part is our story. We went there.
Yeah, sum it up.
Yeah, look, it took us starting in 2008, kind of stumbled and bumbled through 9, 10, 11. You got to keep in mind, too, our average loan size back then was $136,000.
Yeah.
It's way easier to do $1 billion when your average loan size is $400,000.
Yeah, I was going to say.
In 2015, we did not do $1 billion, but we did 2,000 loans.
Yeah.
Like you start doing that math today, there's many markets where 2,000 loans is going to get you damn near close to $1 billion, right? And even in August of 2024, not a good market. We were still pumping out 70 million, 75 million in July and August of 2024.
But it was all because like you had a small team that you saw the value in building systems, right?
It all starts with systems.
It all starts with systems.
Yes.
You put the system in place, and now there's value to an originator that would come in, right, and want to partner up with you and be at that location. And they're using the systems. They're using things like a 270-day prospect flow or the CRM thing you have in place. But yeah, expand on it.
No, you're hitting on a great point, Mike. It's important to know Mike Smalley was a badass mortgage loan originator. Okay. I was a badass mortgage loan originator. David Holbrook was a top producing mortgage loan originator when we got together.
Yeah.
Okay. That was super important. We built systems and processes that others wanted to emulate. They wanted access to.
Mm-hmm.
You know what we weren't? We weren't hot messes. Because if you're a hot mess, you're not going to get there.
Yeah.
You're not going to bully your way through it. You're not going to buy your way through it. You're not going to be net revenue positive, trying to scale to hundreds of millions of dollars a year in volume on your way to billions if you're not systematized, if you're not process oriented.
You can't scale anything without systems.
If you're not following what Alex Hormozi and Dan Martell and others are teaching, if you're not reading the book Traction by Gino Wickman, you're not going to get there. Mm-hmm. Okay. And I wish I was introduced to those guys back in 2015, 2016, 2017.
It would have just reinforced what you were doing.
Look, Mike and I know straight up, we should have left our original company in 2019. Mm-hmm. We probably should have gone to a place like Cross Country Mortgage, and we would be a $3 billion division today. Mm-hmm. Right? Like, that was also some things that you can live and learn about. That's for a different podcast episode. But everything runs its course. Everything has a shelf life.
Yeah.
But we were able to get to that $1 billion with the company that we were aligned with, who are amazing people, many of them like family. Okay. So I don't want to be disparaging towards that, but I think what I want to circle back to is you can't be a hot mess yourself. Mm-hmm. You got to have systems and processes other people want access to, and that's why they're coming to work for you. If you're just trying to hire someone to take an override, dude, leave the industry. Get the flip out of here.
Yeah.
Like, everything is earned. I don't care if you're a producer or a non-producer. If you are earning money on someone else's production, you better earn it and not take it. Mm-hmm. Right? Nothing's given away. And it needs to be earned. So we earned it, right? We earned that opportunity because we ourselves weren't hot messes. We built something others wanted to be a part of. When I study those men and women that are running $3 billion divisions, right? Running $5 billion divisions, they take what we were able to do. They make us look like JV and they're D1. I mean, there's some people in this industry that have taken it to the next level where when you work for them, they have this entire operations center that you have access to. Or, I have a guy right now. So I have a guy, shout out to Wally. So Wally's in Texas. He himself has probably originated $2 billion in volume. He has a book. It's a best-selling book. Cool dude. And Wally's trying to build out a $1 billion production company that he owns. Mm-hmm. He's trying to do it uniquely. 35 originators doing $1 billion. So his average originator would do roughly $30 million in volume. His average originator would do about 84 to 110 units per year.
Yeah.
Wally won't even hire you unless you're doing 15 million already.
Wow.
Wally won't even, he has non-negotiables. You tie into his systems or you don't. 40% of your business comes from non-realtors or you don't work there. But when you do work there, he has a concierge team that does X, Y, and Z for you.
Yeah, and that's why I don't want to give away Wally's IP. Yeah, so Wally aside, what would you do today, right now? I mean, what would you do differently if you had to build a $3 billion division?
Man, you're going to ask me this? Okay.
I know.
Okay, I'm going to circle back to that.
Okay.
We'll close out the episode. We'll close out the episode with me answering that.
All right, cool.
Yeah, because here's the deal. So what Wally is doing is going to work for Wally.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you, it won't work for many of you. You're not Wally. Mm-hmm. You're not. I'm not Wally.
Well, he's got to have a serious honeypot to get $15 million to $30 million producers in consistently.
Well, he's just getting started. I think he may be halfway to his goal this year.
Yeah.
Right. He still has a ways to go, but he's very specific about what he wants. And this dude's been coached by Gary Keller. He's been coached by John Maxwell. He's been coached by Robert Kiyosaki. I mean,
big names.
And he's been in this industry since he was 19 years old, and he's my age today.
Yeah.
Right. So he knows a thing or two. Mm-hmm. But I like how he's doing it because what it comes down to, he knows what he wants. He knows what he offers. Mm-hmm. The right people will want to come work for him because they want to do things the Wally way. And they're going to get crazy amount of support that nowhere else will support them like that.
Sounds to me like he's built himself a pretty good brand. And that's almost the honeypot.
He claims he gets 100 inquiries a month and he hires one.
Wow.
One or two.
He created scarcity too.
Yeah,
that's wild.
So I'm really enjoying getting to know him better, and a lot of our listeners probably are very familiar with him, and others like, oh, who's Wally? Well, stay tuned.
Yeah,
right. Stay tuned. We'll do some things. Maybe I can convince him to get on the cruise or something. Who knows?
Yeah, it'd be fun.
But let's go the polar opposite of how I did it.
Mm-hmm.
Polar opposite. You could go I'm talking this if it's opposite way I did it, it's like the freaking antichrist the way that Wally's trying to do it.
Yeah.
Let's just say you go out to every newly licensed part-time.
See, I feel like this is what I would do.
Yeah,
and I want to hear the pros and cons.
Knowing you for the past year and a half,
yeah,
this may be right up your alley, but I'm gonna tease and I'm gonna give a little bit away.
Cool.
I'm not saying I wouldn't.
Okay.
But it's not who I've been for 20 years.
Right. I know.
It's not who I've been, but if I'm an entrepreneur and a business operator, I mean, at the end of the day, what am I looking for? Like, I'm looking for top line revenue in, expenses paid, bottom line revenue.
Exactly.
And giving something to someone that benefits what they're looking for. Mm-hmm. So the people that Wally won't hire, the people that wouldn't have wanted to work for me at Waterstone, there's a whole group that are still sitting there wanting to be supported.
Yeah.
Okay. So I can look at a company like Nexa. Okay. I don't have a relationship with Nexa. I'm not saying I wouldn't want to. We have a ton of Nexa originators that tune into the show.
Okay.
We coach a lot of Nexa people.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's
we have
right.
a lot of
I know
Nexa
now.
people.
Nexa. Yeah.
They're one of the largest mortgage brokerages in the country. Mm-hmm. Right. And I love all the things that they are doing. Like, they have some internal coaching that they do and some onboarding, and they're definitely making a name for themselves, and they've come a long way. But numbers are numbers. I can go into Redder, I can go into Model Match, I can go into Ingenious, and I can pull the data, and I'm going to tell you straight up, they average 0.9 units funded per month per LO.
Not even one.
0.9.
So that means some are zero.
Y'all, listen up. If you want to be a full-time, respected professional mortgage loan originator, I'm going to tell you it's 30 units a year.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
30 units a year. 0.9. Okay. We ran some years 5 units per month. On a light, low year, 3.5 units. And I hired rookies. Anytime you hire rookies, you're going to have a lower average unit because it takes the rookies 1 to 2 years to kind of get launched.
Right.
Okay, but we are consistently every year over 17 years over 4.5 units per LO.
Yeah.
The industry right now is probably 2.5.
Yeah.
0.9. But I can tell you this, Mike Cordes has a jet. You know who doesn't have a jet? Mike Siciliano
I don't have a
and
jet.
Dustin Owen do not have a jet.
I know.
Right? So is there anything wrong with saying, okay, if my average loan size is around 330 to 360, how many units per year do I need to fund in order to do $1 billion?
Right.
Okay. The number is roughly 3,000.
Yep.
Roughly.
Okay.
Roughly 250 transactions per month. We may just want to use this platform to go out and hire 300 LOs.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. So we need 250 LOs.
1099 mortgage broker, super high comp. But what you and I would do different, I'm the coach.
That's what I was going to say.
And you're marketing Mike.
Yeah.
We could still offer a lot of structure when it comes to marketing, a lot of structure when it comes to coaching. You and I could afford to probably, if we're doing that type of volume, go out and hire someone to do like deal making.
Yeah.
Okay. We could probably bring on someone like Dion Bass to come in and help, like, from operational efficiencies and processing. Right. Shout out to Dion, by the way.
Yeah, we would just go SOP, feed the leads, and coaching. Right?
Yeah, but we're not creating leads from them.
No, I'm saying teach them how to
Yes.
feed the leads to themselves.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'd coach them. You'd support them basically on a marketing standpoint, like basically website type stuff.
Right. Now, we talked in the past, wasn't there an issue with this model, though, where each LO has a cost associated to them? Or is that a no because they're 1099?
I said 1099.
Yeah.
Now,
okay, got
the
it.
1099 is a huge debate in the industry.
Right.
I have an issue in many states with 1099.
Okay.
Okay. I don't know if Dustin Owen CMB Dustin on CMB is way different than podcast DO.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
like,
No, I know.
Right, same person, but depending on what hat I'm wearing, right?
Yeah,
Today
yeah.
I'm wearing a freaking captain's hat.
You're a cowboy on the podcast.
Yeah, well, I'm a cowboy in general.
Let's
Yeah,
go.
that's why I'm pushing for us to have like a Caribbean cowboy themed Bon Voyage bash, right? Live band. Yeah, it'd be badass. But I'm not for now. I don't want to piss off anybody, but I'm a little wishy-washy on even having 1099 associates in this industry, especially doing FHA loans. We'll bring in Bob Nemi. Maybe Bob can really be a guest, and we can cover some of that.
Yeah.
But how would I do it? I like Wally's way. It'd be hard for me not to go back to the playbook of Dio, Coach, and Smalley, right? The three amigos they used to call us. Let me go find another Corey, another Sue, another Putt.
Y'all seem
another
very middle.
Another Matt Finster, another like Brian Kimball. Like put all that together, all that volume.
Yeah.
Right? Dude, it worked. It was nice, and you enjoyed everyone. I love those people. Those people I just mentioned, that's family. I just mentioned family. I left names out.
Yeah.
Right? But those are family, and it's going to be hard for me not to want to do that. But it's also hard for me to look at the private jet that Cordis is flying in and be like, that works too. Right? That works too. So there's 3 different ways you can build it. I think you have to find your way and then stick to it. But it all comes down to support. You got to get them in. You got to get them to stay.
Yeah.
And Cordis and his team over at Nexa, from what I understand, again, I don't know them as well as I should. They are doing some really cool things to try to continue to support their people, offer them mentorship, grow them. But the sales pitch is come over here. We'll pay you max comp and be 1099.
Yeah.
At which point, a lot of people don't succeed in that model. A lot of people are lost and they're scared and they need structure. They need support. They don't understand iron sharpens iron. They think they can be a newly licensed LO working from home with their manager 2,000 miles away. I'm not saying it won't work. I'm saying the probability and the likelihood is not against your favor. It's why when people reach out to me, we had that new service, Career Advisory Service.
Yep.
Many of you have seen the ads on Facebook and
Instagram.
And Instagram. I talk to 3 people a day that are reaching out looking for career advice.
Yep.
I freaking love it. It's the highlight of my day.
I know. That's great.
And you're doing a great job of getting them in. But I'm like a broken record. We talked about my mom and us going on that fishing trip and whatnot. So my mom's in the car with me for 2 hours. I'm like, Mom, I got to get some work done. And she heard me over and over again. A couple things stood out.
If you're a licensed originator who's closing loans, but you're not consistent, this is for you. If you're brand new or just looking for motivation, trust me, this is not for you. Most LOs don't need more information. They need structure. They need proven processes and somebody to hold them accountable. T-Lob's Originator Coaching gives you weekly live coaching, scripts top producers actually use, and step-by-step business systems you can implement immediately. Not someday, we're talking day one. You're not watching videos alone. You're executing in real time with other originators who take this seriously. Right now, you can try it free for 2 weeks. That's 2 full weeks for free. You'll sit in on live coaching calls. You'll get access to the frameworks and see exactly how top producers run their business. If it creates clarity, if it creates momentum, or even if it puts wins on the board, you keep going. If it doesn't, no worries, you can cancel. No pressure at all. Click the link, start the 2-week trial, and finally, build this like a business, not a side hustle.
Your effing voicemail isn't set up. Go fly a kite. Where are you from? You're a professional. Set up your voicemail.
Yeah.
Okay. Your voicemail box is full. WTF? Are you effing serious?
Terrible. Strike 2.
Yes. You didn't pick up my phone call. What if I had a lead for you? What if I needed a home loan?
Yeah.
Right. That was strike 3. We'll start there.
All right.
Now, if I got the person on the phone, it's I want to go somewhere that provides leads. I want to go somewhere that pays the highest comp. I want to go somewhere where I can do this, plus I can be a notary, plus I can be a realtor, plus I can do this. Deep breath. First and foremost, make sure you have a professional voicemail. Make sure your voicemail box has availability for the people who do want to leave voicemails to leave voicemails.
Yeah.
Okay, pick up your phone if you're in sales and you want to make a sale.
Yep.
And then finally, and if you can't pick it up, have an answering service that can. Okay. And then finally, pick one thing and be great at it.
Yes.
One thing. Alex Hormozy teaches that. He goes, you can't be a CEO of 5 companies. You can be a CEO of 1 company.
I've learned that over the last 3 years.
Yeah, you could own 4 companies. But by owning it, I gave Mike $100,000. I'm 10% owner.
Yep.
Yeah, Mike loops me in quarterly on what's going on, and I'm a part of 2 meetings in person a year.
Yep.
Other than that, I don't run that company. I am a minority owner.
Yep.
I run TLOP Entertainment LLC, right? That's the company I run. Loan officers, same thing applies to you. Pick one thing and be great at. And then it's finally this piece of advice. You need to find a great local leader who has systems and processes and others that are trying to do what you're trying to do, or better yet, others that are doing what you want to be doing, and go work there.
Yeah.
I'm sick and tired of, hey, Dio, what's the best company? There's a lot of great companies. There are a lot of great companies in this industry. Some are brokers, some are bankers, some are credit unions, right? Some run the consumer direct model, some don't. There's a lot of great companies. You're looking for a great leader first. That great leader needs to be local to you, even if you work from home 2 days a week. The less tenure you have in this business, the less loans that you're funding, you need to be in the office more.
Yeah.
Right? Working from home is an earned privilege for those that are experienced and those that need less support and those that are already funding loans. So this is the type of advice that I'm giving. You and I, if we had to start all over again, I would have to heed my own advice. I would have to say, I want to hire people that are full-time and professional. I want to hire people that are going to have a setup voicemail, that are never going to have a voicemail box too full, that are going to pick up the phone when it rings, that know that they're going to do one thing and one thing only and be the best at it.
Yeah.
And
love that.
I'm going to want them to have local leadership in their local market where they have other men and women that are either wanting to do what they're trying to do or are already doing what they want to do at a high level. Iron sharpens iron. Birds of a feather flock together. Whether I did that broker, whether I did that IMB is indifferent. Whether I was fine averaging 0.9 transactions per LO per month, or I wanted to only hire where you were doing 5 loans a month, I think that is a, let's see what the future may hold. But I'm going to have to be able to offer some level of support and consistency that people are going to want to be a part of. And then once they're a part of it, I have to execute so they want to stay with me.
Right.
All of that is how you too could build a $1 billion division in mortgage, along with a little bit of free career advice, which, by the way, if you are contemplating making a career change or you just need some advice navigating where you currently sit, we have an entire service called TLOPS Career Advisory Services. You can find it on the website, yes?
You sure can, under the More tab.
Under the More tab?
Yep.
Yeah, you can also just reach out to me on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
First name Dustin, last name Owen. I'm highly accessible. So if you're a divisional or a company owner who wants to talk to me about my Launch Bootcamp, right? The thing that I use to build my $1 billion division, the thing that I could help create your next sales leaders and your next top producers, hit me up on LinkedIn, first name Dustin, last name Owen. Yeah. Or if you're a branch manager or a loan originator who needs help with a career decision, you need some guidance or a sounding board, first name Dustin, last name Owen, I'm on LinkedIn. The cruise, all the information is found on our website, tloponline.com. And better yet, if you're on YouTube and you want to build out a $1 billion division, why don't you comment below how you're going to do it? And if you've already built out a $1 billion division, why don't you share on YouTube the 3 things that you did really well?
This will be fun.
That you would do all over again.
Yep.
And if you're listening on Spotify or Apple, we thank you. We ask you to give us our 5-star review. That 5-star review helps other people find this type of content. But make sure you go to YouTube. Make sure you subscribe, because we have hundreds of additional pieces of content that aren't just podcasts that you're going to love. Whether it's the DO show or Talk Mortgage to Me or Mortgage School or Coach's Corner, it's all free content curated to teach the shit they didn't teach in school. Karina, anything from you?
Nope.
Mikey, anything from you?
No, I think it was a solid episode.
Beautiful. Y'all, thank you so much for tuning in. She's our producer extraordinaire, Special K, a.k.a. Karina Mojica. He is my man with the plan, my right hand, Mike Siciliano. We call him Marketing Mike. I'm your creator and the host of the Loan Officer Podcast, Dustin Owen. That's all the time we have for you today, but do look forward to catching you on the next episode. Peace.